Welcome to T1 Academy. In our reasoning series, we already finished some of the important concepts. So please do watch those videos and then come to this one. Now today we are going to discuss one more important concept, that is statement and assumption, students. Now see here, students, in these statements and assumptions, the concepts like statement and assumptions, statement conclusions, statement arguments and decision makings, these are like what we can say, more or less we can say that these are not a pure reasoning or pure quant concepts, where we will not have an exact answer for this one. So what we will do is, we will try to see the best answer. See, we cannot say exactly that this can be our assumption, these can be assumptions, but what we can do is, by seeing some keywords, by observing some keywords, we can eliminate some of the options, or we can choose the best one among that one. So like that we need to do the assumptions. It purely depends on one's perspective. It depends on the student perspective from what he is looking into it, and there are some standards. Okay, it is purely based on one's intentions and all those things, but along with that we require some standard words. We will try to observe some standard words, and based on those standard words, how we need to guess our final answer. We will try to check that one, students. Now first, what is the statement and assumptions in general? In general means, see here, in this type of questions, statement is given followed by two or more assumptions. They will give us one statement, and they will give, based on that statement, they will try to give us some assumptions here. We are required to assess the given statement and decide which of the assumption is implicit in the statement. See here, students, we cannot say that exactly it will happen, or it is given in the statement. It will be implicit. That means it should include, okay, it should make some sense regarding that statements. The assumption should have some relation with the statement, then only it will be possible. So that is the reason we are saying that implicit. Okay, now assumption. An assumption is something that can be supposed or assumed on the basis of given statement. It may or may not be, but we will make an assumption here, students. Okay, now some tips for us, as I have already told you, it depends on the student only, but anyway it requires some tips for us to solve the things. So for evaluating an assumption, we can take a clue from some of the words that lend to definite meaning. See here, students, we will have some words which gives us, see, all, every, it tells us that it should be true for all the cases. Every, it should be true for all the cases. So by seeing them some strong words like this, all, only, each, every, etc., by seeing that, if these words are seen in the statement, then it is fine. But you cannot make assumption by saying that all the people are doing so and so, or all that people will not do so and so. Okay, so whenever you see these strong words like all, every, only, you should be very careful, and mostly you need to see the same words in the statement. If you see them, it is correct, else it will be wrong. By seeing this statement, you may not understand, students. Later, while solving the examples, I will give you more clarity regarding that one. Next, see adjectives. There will be some adjectives, right, for us in the words. So when something was adjective is denoted for a subject, that means if it is given as a quality for a subject, we will assume that that subject is having that quality. We will assume that that subject is having that quality, and based on that we will make the assumption. Okay, we will make the assumption. So now we will see the example, students, and then we will try to know the concept very well. So here we will have options like this: only if assumption 1 is implicit, assumption 2 is implicit, either 1 or 2 is implicit, if both are implicit, and neither are implicit. Like this, they will give us 5 options. Each and every question we are not providing the options here. That is the reason at once I have given. So for the first set of questions which we are discussing, for them we will have 5 options each. For them we will have 5 options of each kind. Now we will go and try to get the answers for this question. Now see here, India must earn a lot of foreign exchange to achieve her target of economic development. See here, students, must. Must means what? Definitely. That means India should definitely earn a lot of foreign exchange to achieve her target in the economic development. It should. Definitely it should achieve. Okay, now assumptions. India desires to achieve the target of economic development. Yes, right? It is desiring to get the economic development. That is the reason we are saying that it must earn the foreign exchange. So yes, India is desiring to achieve the economic development. Next, it is possible for India to earn more foreign exchange. See here students, India must earn means we should earn, right? Yes, we should earn. So without having the scope, okay, without having the scope, can we make any assumption? See, for example students, I will say that sun rises in the east. Same thing if I say that sun rises in the west. Will sun rise at the west? No, right? It is not at all possible. So without that is an impossible task. If it is an impossible task, how I can think that it is a possibility that sun rises at the west? It is completely a false, right? We cannot make that assumption, right? So here there is a possibility of there is a possibility of economic development. That is the reason we are assuming it. So that is the reason it is possible for India to earn more foreign exchange. There is a possibility, then only we can make the economic development. That is how you need to think. So there is a possibility. Yes, there is a possibility. So here for us, both are implicit. Both are implicit for us. Both the assumptions are implicit here for me. Okay, next one. We will see the next one. Now see here, an advertisement. See here students, this is an advertisement. You should understand words, or it is said by some person, or it is an advertisement. What is the advertisement? If you want to follow the footprints of an ideal leader, wear X brands of shoes. That is the tagline of that advertisement. Okay. Now, most people like to become the ideal leaders. See, without having this, interest from the public, how one can give the ad? See, take example of Boost and Sachin. Earlier we used to have, right? So, Boost ad, they will give us, they will project Sachin Tendulkar, right? So, why only Sachin Tendulkar? Means the reason is very simple. Many youngsters want to become a sports person like Sachin Tendulkar. So, they will put him as a brand ambassador so that most of the people will purchase their product. That is their intention, right? Very clearly that was their intention. Similarly here also, most of the people are willing to become a leader, ideal leader. That is the reason they are projecting their advertisement based on the ideal leader. So most of the people like to become ideal leaders. Yes, that is the reason they are giving advertisement. Else they will not give that advertisement, right? Yes, that is assumption is correct for us. Next, one can't become ideal leader unless one wears X. See here students, this is a strong word. Unless one wears a strong X brand of shoes. Is it mandatory? This is just an advertisement. That is not a statement. That is just an advertisement. What they are telling? One can't become ideal leader unless one wears X brand of shoes. Is it true? No, right? It is not an correct assumption for us. Why? Because without using that brand also, yes, they can form. They can become an ideal leader. But this is just an advertisement. That is not a fact. That is not a fact, that is just an advertisement. So that is the reason this one is not implicit for us. So here our answer becomes only assumption 1 is implicit. This is how you need to think about this statement assumptions. Understood? Right? Next one. Central bank, which is the largest bank in the country. Okay, definitely it is the word they mentioned, it is the largest bank in the country, has decided to reduce its workforce by 30% so that its banks may work efficiently. See a student, whatever the statement they give, if they make anything, assumption means, yes, we should understand one thing, that by reducing the workforce, definitely there is a chance of improving the work efficiency. That is the assumption which they are making, statement they are telling us. Now come. The bank can perform all its activities after the reduction in the workforce. All its activities after the reduction in workforce. Is it true or false? It may or may not be, right? All. This is like a strong word for us. So by reducing the workforce, they are telling that we will work efficiently. But they are not mentioning anywhere that we will continue all the services. That means they may skip or they may continue some of the services. So this is not implicit for us. Next, the surplus employees may be asked to adopt early retirement scheme before leaving the bank. Does they anywhere in the statement mentioned about this early retirement scheme? Does they made any statement? No, right? They didn't made any statement regarding that early retirement. So it is completely out of the box. It is out of the context. Why? Because it was not at all discussed in my statement. If anything is discussed in my statement, then I will make an assumption. But it was not discussed in my statement, right? So here this one is also not implicit for me here. So here neither are implicit. Neither assumptions are implicit for me. Neither the assumptions are implicit for me here. So no assumption is implicit. Next one. So now see here students, next set of questions what we will discuss is if only assumption 1 is implicit, only assumption 2 is implicit, either 1 or 2, if neither 1 or 2. Now see here students, here both is not possible. From the option set also we can decide, we will come to one conclusion that how we should think. As I already told you, you should be very careful while answering these statement, assumptions, conclusions or arguments. We should go with the options. We should make all the logics together and then only try to solve it. Here the chance of both conclusions are implicit is not at all possible, right? From the given option set, it is very clear that both options are implicit is gone. So either 1, 2 or either 1 or 2 or neither follows. So both follows is not at all possible for us here. Now come to the questions. The nutritional status of children in India is better compared to that in the other developing countries. That is the statement they given. Nutritional status is better in Indian children than the other countries. Now first assumption, it is not possible to estimate nutritional requirement of children in other countries. Now without possibility, how we can compare? Yes, there is a possibility. They measured the nutritional what we can say requirements in those countries and then only they decided that. Without measuring it, how one can decide? It is not at all possible, right? So that means this is completely explicit. That means it is not implicit for us. It is not possible they are telling, but it is possible, right? Without measuring, how you can compare students? Without measuring, we cannot compare. So that means definitely they measured in other countries and as well as in India. And then only they decided that yes, India is better than the other developing countries. So it is possible. So that is not implicit for us. Next, India can become a developed country. India can become a developed country. See here, they are speaking about developing countries and all this. Does they spoke anything about India development? Here the context is different. See, India may or may not be, can become a developed country. That is secondary. Here the context, what is the context actually here? Here they are speaking about the nutritional values. They are speaking about the nutritional. They are not speaking about the development of the country. They are only speaking about the nutritional values. Nowhere in the statement they doesn't mention us about the nature of development. Whether it is developing, they didn't mention it like that. So this one is also not implicit for me. So here my answer will become neither nor. Neither my assumptions are implicit for me here. Okay, both the assumptions are not at all implicit for us here. Okay, understood students? Context is also very, very important. Here actually in this statement we are speaking about the nutritional values, not about the nature of development. Okay, nutritional values is the context here for us. So our assumptions should also revolve around that nutritional things only, not about the developing one. Okay, right? Next one. Please do not use lift while going down an instruction on the top of floor. See here students, whenever there is any instruction or notice board, it should be definitely followed. And next thing, whenever there is any instruction or any notice board means, there the people are not following the rules. There the people are not following the rules. That is the reason they are putting that board. See, danger board or any sign board, instruction board or any notice board, if they are mentioning means, what actually is happening is that thing was happening there, it should not happen. That is the meaning of that one. Okay. So we should be very careful. You should assume that if they give anything, see here, the lift while going down and instruction was written means, yes, definitely there are some people, they are trying to use the lift while going down. That is the reason to avoid them, they have put a notice board. Remember this one, that thing is happening, that is the reason. To avoid that, they are putting a notice board there. Okay. Now, while going down, the lift is unable to carry any load. Thus, did they mention as what is the reason behind that? No, they didn't mention any reason behind that. So, I cannot tell, this is implicit. See, they are telling that should not use, that's it. But they didn't mention as any reason behind that. They are making a reason that unable to carry any load. It might not be the reason, right? So, that is not implicit. Next, provision of lift is a matter of facility and not a right, not of right. Does they anywhere spoke about the right or any facility here? No. It is also completely out of the context for us. So, neither. Students, once again I am telling, if a notice or if any signboard or if anything was written there, what actually we can make assumption is that thing is happening. So, if you see a speed limit board, there is a speed limit board that should not cross beyond 100 kilometers per hour. What does it mean is there are some people who are going more than the speed of 100 kmph. That is the reason they have put the signboard. If everyone is going less than 100 kmph speed, then why there is a need of putting a signboard? There is no need, right? So, that is the reason. Here the such type of assumption was not made, but for your knowledge I am telling, later on we will see those type of things. Okay, right? Next, see the next one. In case of any difficulty about this case, you may contact our company's lawyer. Okay, they told one statement that if you want any further details about this case, you can contact our company's lawyer. That is the statement they given for us. Now, each company has a lawyer of its own. Does they mention that every company is having a lawyer of its own? No, right? So, it is not implicit for us here. Now, the company's lawyer is thoroughly briefed about this case. Yes, he know each and everything of that case. That is the reason, if you have any doubt, they told that to contact that person, right? If he doesn't know about that case, why anyone will suggest him to meet him, right? That is completely wrong. So, definitely the company's lawyer thoroughly briefed about this case. So, he knows completely in and out of the case. That is the reason, if anyone have any doubt, you can just ask that lawyer. So, here only second is implicit. Only second is implicit for me. Second assumption is implicit for us here. Okay, next one. The program will start at 6 p.m. but you can come up to 7 p.m. also, and there is no problem. And there is no problem. See here, the program will start at 6 p.m. but you can come there up to 7 p.m. also, and still there is no problem. That is a statement for us. That is a statement. Now, the program will continue even after 7 p.m. Yes, right? Why? Because you can come even up to 7 p.m. means, yes, the program will continue even after 7 p.m. That is the reason you are invited even at 7 p.m. also is fine. If program ends at 7 p.m., what is the need of coming at 7 p.m.? It is completely not, it will not make any sense, right? You are allowed up to 7 p.m. means, yes, the program will continue even after 7 p.m. Even after 7 p.m. So, this is implicit. The program may not even start by that time. No, it is not correct. See, the program is starting at 6 p.m. only. You can come at 7 p.m. What they are telling that the program, you don't generalize it, ma. What is, see, usually what happens is they will say 7 o'clock, but you can come, it is not of that kind of statement. If a statement was mentioned, yes, it is correct. If they say that the program starts at 6 p.m. means, yes, the program will start at 6 p.m. at any cost. But it will go on, keep on continuing. So, that is the reason you can join in the middle of the program at 7 p.m. Like that you should think. Don't think that they will say 6 p.m. but the program will start. It is not like that type of statement. Whenever a statement was mentioned means, yes, it will be correct. So, it will start at 6 p.m. Yes, it will start at 6 p.m. but it will continue even after 7 p.m. That is the reason you are invited at 7 p.m. also is fine. Okay. So, the second one is not implicit for us here. Why? The program may not even start by that time. No, the program is starting at 6 p.m. only. That is the reason. So, here only one is implicit for us. Only one is implicit for us. Okay, next one. Health is the foundation of well-being, virtue, prosperity, wealth, happiness and salvation. Okay, health is the reason for all these things. That is the statement they told. First, happiness results in health and well-being. See, health is the reason of having all these things, but they are telling that happiness is the reason of health. Is it correct? No, this is completely against to my given statement. So that is false. Next, people desire to be happy, prosperous and virtuous. Yes, people desires to be happy, prosperous and virtuous. Yes, that is implicit. So here only second one is implicit. Only second one is implicit. First one is not implicit. Why? Because of health we will get happiness. Not because of happiness we will get health. According to the statement. Okay, right, next one. Last century was the century of fundamental rights, and let the forthcoming century become the of excellence. Become that an appeal from a noted lawyer. This is the appeal from a person. This is the appeal from a person. This is the appeal from a person. Last century was the century of fundamental rights, and let the forthcoming century become that of excellence. Now next one should be of excellence. Now every century should be marked for a particular purpose. No. Why? Because this was just mentioned by a notable lawyer. There should be a name for every century means no, there may not be any name. So that is wrong. Human race is ready to focus its attention on aiming at excellence in the every sphere of life. Yes. See students, already I told you why in the beginning we have written some words statements, right? Adjective, whenever there is an adjective attached to anything, yes, we will consider that adjective is following. Same here. So what they are telling is next century should be of an excellence. That is the reason, yes, people are ready to do it. Okay, aiming at an excellence, that is the reason we will consider this as implicit. So here for me only second is implicit. Only second is implicit for me here. Only second one is implicit. See the next one. Right. The private bus services in the city has virtually collapsed because of the ongoing strike of its employees. Now see here students, private bus services was halted because of ongoing employee strikes. Now first, going on strike has become the right of every employee. See students, if you see in general manner or in the according to the statement also, they doesn't mention about the every employee. They doesn't mention about every employee. They told very clearly only bus one, it is implicit. Like that I can cancel it. And next one is in general also, we will not have, there will be some employees where those people should not go to strike. In general, there will be no provision of strike in those departments. Take example, police department, okay, security and all internal affairs, they can never go on a strike. Did you hear any time that a police department is doing any strike? No. It is their duty to protect law and order, so definitely they will never go into strike. And similarly health department, usually we should not go into strike in the health department. Like this there are revenue also. There will be some departments, there will be no provision for them to go on to a strike. That is a general case. Like that also you can cancel it, or else in according to the statement also, here they are only speaking about the private bus employees, not all the services. So it is every employee is wrong. Right. Next, people no more require the service of private bus operators. Does they mention anything about this private bus operators or anything in this one about the requirement of the private buses? They doesn't mention anything here, right? So here what happens, this one is also not implicit. So our answer here becomes neither. Neither the assumptions are correct for me here. So both are not implicit for me here. Next, see, nobody can predict as how long our country would take to contain the unfortunate and disastrous terrorist activities. Nobody can predict. They are telling that nobody can predict as to how long our country would take to contain the unfortunate and disastrous terrorist attacks. That is the statement they given for us. Okay. Now, it is impossible to put an end to the terrorist activities. Does they mention anything about the possible or impossibilities? Possibilities and impossibilities here? No. They are simply saying that about the prediction. How long it will take, we don't know. But they nowhere in the question they mention that we cannot put or we can put. This is like a strong statement. It is impossible means a strong word, right? It will never happen. It is not like that. So whenever you see this type of strong words, if they are given in the statement, yes, they are correct. If they are not mentioned, then they are completely not implicit. They are wrong. Why? Because nowhere in the statement they mention that it is impossible. They are just speaking that how long it is taking, we cannot say. Next one. Efforts to control the terrorist activities are on. Yes. That is the reason we can say that one. Yes, they are on. That is the reason it is taking some time. Its efforts are being put to contain this terrorist activities. So definitely that is correct. So here our answer becomes only second assumption is implicit for us here. Only second assumption is implicit for us. Efforts are put here. That is the reason it will be taking some more time. See students, if efforts are not put here, what will happen? If it doesn't put any efforts here, what might be my statement? It is impossible, right? Here they are speaking about possibility, means definitely they might have put some efforts. That is the reason they are speaking about the time. How long it is taking, we cannot say. They have put some efforts. That is the reason they are doing it. Okay. So that one is correct for us. So here our answer becomes what? Only 2 is implicit. Next one. You know that your suit is excellent when people ask about your tailor who tailored the suit. So this is like a statement or condition. You know that your suit is excellent when people ask about your tailor who tailored the suit. So you should think it in the positive manner only. Okay. Yes, the suit was really good. We can consider, and that is the reason people are asking about the suit. Next one. People do not ask about your tailor if your suit is not good. They doesn't mention here, right? Whether they ask. See, if it is not good also, they may not ask us. They may ask us. But people do not ask means it is completely wrong. It is not at all implicit for us. People may or may not ask. Still, the people want to know the criteria of an excellent suit. See, does they mention anything about the criteria of the excellent suit here? That means on what criteria, whether it is based on the color or design or the pattern of stitching, whatever it is. Anywhere in the statement they mentioned as here, no, right? So this one is also not implicit. Neither are implicit for us here. Neither are implicit. See, nowhere in the statement they mentioned about the criteria of that one. Okay, next. Even with the increase in number of sugar factories in India, we still continue to import sugar. See here students, this type of questions is based on production. Production. So whenever there is any question based on production, please be careful. There is a chance of either or. There will be a chance for either or. Why? Because sometimes we may reach the productivity, sometimes we may not reach the productivity. Chances, both will be chances are there. So let us see this one. Even with the increase in number of sugar factories in India, we still continue to import the sugar. Factories are increasing, but still we are importing the sugar. Now, what might be the reason? The consumption of sugar per capita has increased in India. Yes. See, even though factories are increasing, still if consumption is keep on increasing, it is not required. It is not sufficient. So we will put that. Okay, there is an idea. Next. Many of the factories are not in position to produce sugar to their fullest capacity. Yes, that might be also a reason, right? See, two chances are there. First one is people are consuming more than what it is produced. People are consuming more than what it is produced. And second chance is what? The production is less than what people is consuming. That means actually it can be improved. Production can be improved. There is a chance. So there is chance for both the cases, right? Both the cases are possible. So here we will write our answer as either 1 or 2 is implicit. Either 1 or 2 is implicit. Understood students? So either or production, especially the questions which are related to production, there is a chance for either or. I am not saying that each and every time it will become either or. There will be a good chance of having either or. So that is the reason. So whenever the question is based on consumption, why? Because see, I told you the consumption was more than what it was produced, that might be one reason, or the consumption was, the production was less than what it was required. Actually they should produce some 1000 tons, but they are to their full capacity, but they are producing just some 600 tons. So they can improve their production so that the imports can be stopped. So two chances are there. So that is the reason, either or. So questions based on production, once again I am repeating, there is a high chance of either or. Next one. Now read this one, pause the video and try to get the answer, students, everyone. Highly brilliant and industrious students do not always excel in the written examination. Okay, that means yes, we can assume that that was their quality, that they were not able to excel in the examination. That is an adjective. Okay, they cannot excel in the written. Yes, they are not able to excel in the written examination. Next, that written examination is good mainly for mediocre students. Does them anywhere in the statement they spoke about the mediocre students? Nowhere, right? So that means it is out of the context, so it is not at all implicit for me. Next, the brilliant and industrious students cannot always write good answer in the examination. Yes, already we are told, right? They cannot excel in the examination means yes, always cannot always write. That means yes, sometimes they can write, but cannot always write. So that is negation. Yes, this one is implicit for us. Yes, it is correct. That is the thing which was mentioned in the statement also. So this is only second assumption is implicit for us. Only second assumption is implicit for us. Next, see this one. The coffee powder of company X is quite better in taste than much advertised coffee of the company Y. So here we can make two assumptions, students. First one is company X is better than company Y, based on taste. And next one, company Y advertisement is more than company X. More than company X. Now, if your product is not good, you spend more on advertisement. Does they spoke anything about this one in the statement? Just they are giving the advertisement. But it doesn't mean that if you give more advertisement, your product is not good. It is not like that, right? So that one is not at all implicit for us. Not at all implicit for us. Next, some people are tempted to buy a product by the advertisement. Yes, that is the reason they are giving advertisement. Else, what is the need of giving advertisement? See, usually why the product owners give the advertisements? There will be some customers who will buy the product by seeing that customers. That is the hope, right? That is the reason of giving advertisements. Without having that hope or without having that realistic approach, why they give us the advertisement? It is complete. So yes, some people will buy based on the advertisements. Yes, that is compulsorily, that is exactly correct. Without that temptation or without that customer, no one will give that advertisement, right? So that one is correct. So here only second one is implicit for us. Only second one is implicit for us. Next, see here. I can take you quickly from Kanpur to Lucknow by my cab, but then you must pay me double the normal charges. Double the normal charges. So what a cab driver is telling is, I can take you from Delhi to Lucknow, from Kanpur to Lucknow by my cab, but then you must pay double. That means usually, yes, if they go with normal speed, and we can understand two things here. First one is, you can go to Kanpur to Lucknow in two ways. One is by moving slowly and the other one is moving fastly. Yes, both the ways is possible. And the second assumption is, yes, there are some people who are ready to pay double the charges. That is the reason they are moving quickly from Kanpur to Lucknow. That is the two things which we can make. Now, first one, normally it will take more time to reach Lucknow from Kanpur. Yes, that is the reason he is telling that I will take you quickly. If it takes equal time normally and present, why there is a chance of asking double the payment? So yes, that is correct. Next, people want to reach quickly, but they will not pay extra money for it. See here, people want to reach quickly and they won't pay the extra money. How it is possible? It is not at all possible, right? They are ready to pay the extra money. That is the reason they are demanding it. If they are not ready to pay the extra money, why they are demanding that one? So that is not implicit. So here our answer becomes only one is implicit for us. Only one is implicit for us. Next, see, the civic authority appealed to the people. Now see here, students, whenever a public appeal was made, what is the intention behind that, ma? Whenever a public appeal, see, from tomorrow there is a power outage for some 3 hours of time. They electricity department have given a notice or a public appeal. So that means what is the intention behind that? Why they are giving that notice? By seeing that advertisement or by seeing that notice, few people will take the precautionary steps. Why? Because there is 3 hours outage of power, right? So definitely, yes, the people will think that they will make necessary arrangements how to avoid this what we can say, how to avoid this discomfort during that 3 hours. So that is the reason why they will give priorly, right? That is the intention behind that. So if no one follows that rules, means why they will give that rule, or why they will give that appeal? Yes, there will be some people who will follow the instructions of the government. That is the reason they are making an appeal. Okay, now the civic authority appeal to the people for the reduction of usage of water, as there may be an acute shortage during the coming weeks. During the coming weeks, there is water shortage, so definitely the civic authority is asking the public to use water carefully. Now, first one, there will be no rain in the recent future. See here, students, does they mention any reason behind that shortage of water? Does they mention any reason behind that shortage of water? No, right? They doesn't. Then how you can conclude it with because of rain? Yes, it might be rain. We can accept it, but still, they doesn't mention in the statement, right? It is completely out of the context. There may be many other reasons, like there can be any repair work, right? Or any other reason can be there behind that. So that is the reason there will be no rain. Nowhere in the statement they spoke about the rain. So that is the reason. That is not implicit for us. Next, the people are ready to follow the advice of the civic authority. Yes, they are ready. If they are not ready, why the civic authority have given the appeal? It is waste, right? They know that few people will definitely ready to follow that instructions. That is the reason they give appealed that one. So here only second one is implicit. Only second is implicit for us. Okay, right? Now see the next one, students. If the city bus which runs between Cheknaka and Vande Bharat is extended to Shramnagar, it will be convenient. A appeal of residents of Cheknaka to the city bus company. This is an appeal, students. This is just an appeal. It can be done or it may not be done, but this is just an appeal. Remember this one, this is an appeal. Now, the convenience of city bus company is much more important than the needs of customers. Does they mention anything about this one? No, this is not at all implicit for us. Next, that city bus company is indifferent to the aspirations of residents of Shramnagar. See here, students, when you will make an appeal, generally, when you make an appeal means, if that thing is not happening, you will make an appeal. That means a request. You will request, right, to the bus. That means actually they are not willing to run that one. That is the reason the public are appealing for that one. Okay, but now next, that is the one context. Yes, sir. Next context is how we can decide that they are not ready to do that one. Indifferent means they are not accepting that one. That means their idea was quite opposite to that. That is the meaning of indifferent here. See here just the people appealed, but there is no response, or here they nowhere in the statement they mentioned about the response of the city bus company. So they may or may not be. They may be in favor also, right, with the people request. So that is the reason this one is also not implicit for us. So both are, neither are implicit. Neither are implicit. Neither one nor two are implicit here. Next, when is Manohar's birthday? That is a statement for us. This is a question type. Manohar's father was born on 15th August 1947. See here, students, does they mention any relation with this one? Manohar's father's birthday date with Manohar's birthday? No, right? So it is not implicit. Next, Manohar is 25 years younger to his mother. Does they mention anything about this one? This one is also no. So here neither is implicit for me. Neither the assumptions are implicit for me here. Next one. Next set, If only assumption 1 is implicit, only 2 is implicit, either or both are implicit. Now see here, none implicit is gone here. None of the statements are implicit is deleted here for us. So we can check now the options, questions. First one, the state government X is committed to restrict smoke levels on the roads of metropolis as per the desired parameters. Okay, state government has decided to reduce it. Okay, now it is possible to determine the smoke levels. Yes, it is possible. That is the reason, without any measuring instrument, how you can say earlier it is this, now it was reduced to this. Yes, there is a possibility to measure the smoke levels. Then that is the reason they are measuring it and they feel that it is very high. They want to reduce it. Yes. Next, a committed government can carry forward welfare measure to its people. Right. See, a committed government can carry forward welfare. See, anything about the commitment of it is committed. Okay, the government is committed, right? Yes. Okay, it is, yes. A committed government can carry forward welfare measures of its people. Yes, that one is also implicit. So here both 1 and 2 are implicit for us. Next, unemployment allowance should be given to all employed Indian youth above 18 years of age. That is the statement. So yes, we can understand that there is unemployment, that is the first case, and right now they are not giving any allowance. They are demanding for the allowance. These are the two things which we can make. Now, there are unemployed youth in India who need monetary support. Yes, that is the reason they are demanding for unemployed youth money, right? Okay, allowance should be given. They want the monetary support. That is the reason they are asking for that one. Yes, that is implicit. The government has sufficient funds to provide allowance to all the unemployed youth. See here, students, does they mention anything about this unemployed youth? I mean, funds here? No, right? That is not implicit. That is not implicit here for us. Okay, to provide allowance to all unemployed youth, all unemployed youth. Now you will have one doubt, right? Sir, earlier they made an appeal regarding the water. There you said that there are some people by seeing that appeal, few will follow that rule. That is the reason they are making an appeal. Here also the same thing, students, but the context is different. Here we are appealing to the government, and the next thing is what they are telling is provided to all unemployed youth. There also, while appealing, there see here, we will go back to that question once. The people are ready to follow the advice of the civic authority. That is from the people end. Now this one is from the government. The government may or may not have the enough fund. So that is the reason it is not possible. That context is different. Don't link that one with this one. This is the problem with the statement and assumptions. Try to understand the situation. So here this is not implicit. So here our answer becomes only one is implicit for us. Only one is implicit for us here. Now similarly see the next one. A notice board or at a ticket window, please come in queue. I told you, right, whenever there is any notice board or something like that, it means that it is not followed, we need to follow it. Right? Now, unless instructed, people will not form queue. Yes, that is correct. That is the reason they informed that one. I have already told you, right, if there is any notice board like that, yes, definitely it is not following. By seeing that board, at least you should follow. Next, people anyway want to purchase the tickets. Yes, by coming by line or by standing, anyway they need to purchase, so that is the reason. So here both are implicit for us. Both are implicit for us. Next, the government of India has decided to start a track 2 dialogue with the neighbor to reduce tension in the area. That means what we can understand, students, two things are happening. First one is to start track 2 means already there is a track 1. Right? That is first assumption. Why? Because without having track 1, why you are starting a track 2? So yes, there is a track 1. And the track 1 is not that much fruitful. That is the reason you are looking for track 2. And by a hope that track 2 will work. There is no mandatory that track 2 will definitely work, but there is a hope of working out in the track 2. First thing, there is track 1. Next, the track 1 is not that much fruitful. That is the reason we are going to track 2 talk. Right? Now, The neighboring country may agree to participate in the track 2 dialogue. Yes, may, right? May means yes, they may. That is the reason we are going for. If you know that they will not agree track 2, why you will go for track 2? Yes, there is a chance of accepting track 2. That is the reason we are going. So here also please observe here may. May means there is a chance. Yes, there is a chance. So the second one is correct. The people involved in track 2 dialogue may be. They are not telling that by track 2 it will happen, but may be able to persuade their respective governments. Yes, there is a hope of that one, right? That is the reason they are going for track 2. So here both are implicit for us. Both are implicit for us. Both are implicit for us. And along with this, I told you, right, there is track 1 and which is not fruitful. That is also an assumption which we can make here. Now, please try to take this one. The X Airlines has temporarily suspended flights to a few destinations for the next 4 days due to strike call given by the Pilots Association. Okay. The airlines may be, see here, may be able to restore all the flights after 4 days. Yes. For the next 4 days, they are suspending. And after 4 days, there is a chance of resumption of that one, right? So that means this is correct. Next, the Pilots Association may. See students, chances, right? Yes, there is a chance. That is the reason they just suspended for 4 days. If there is no chance, they would have suspended for more than 4 days, right? They are suspending for 4 days means there is a chance. So the pilots may withdraw the strike call within the 4 days. Yes, that is also correct. So here both are implicit for us. See, without that hope, they will not keep the deadline as 4 days, right? For example, if they know that the strike will keep on continuing for 10 days, means definitely they will, they will suspend the services for 10 days. They are suspending just for 4 days means, yes, there is a hope that they will call off that strike and then automatically we can resume the services. So here both are implicit. Next, try to steal this camera from our store, a display on the departmental store. But this is like a challenge, right? Try to steal this camera from our store, a display on a departmental store. That was the display. Now next, people want to own a camera. Does they mention anywhere about the public's interest? No. The store has a video monitoring system to detect stealing. See here students, if you are making any challenge means definitely you will have a backup plan for that, right, to stop that one. Yes, that backup plan is here what? The store has a video monitoring system to detect stealing. So he is challenging means yes, he has a backup plan of some video monitoring system. That is the reason he is challenging the public. So that one is implicit. So here our answer becomes only second is implicit. Only second one is implicit for us here. Okay. That's it students. These are the questions from our statement assumptions. In our next videos, we will see statement conclusions and all the remaining things. Thank you very much.